Cadet Schreiber, and I'm president of AIB.
I'm Cadet Norris, and I'm the IO of the AIB.
I'm Cadet Parker, and I'm the medical officer of the AIB.
I am Cadet Blake, and I did the diagrams, and I was an investigator.
So this is a picture of the Cessna 401 A-type. It's not a picture of the actual airplane, of course, but it's actually an example.
So history of the flight. So the aircraft is a 1967 Cessna 401A. The total time airframe of this aircraft was about 5,300 hours. The last inspection was March 23rd of 2013. The registered owner was James E. White. The pilot left Prescott at about 8:40 in the morning. Clearance to take off was at 8:39. The twin Cessna 409 Quebec was cleared out of the Class Delta airspace and was told to turn left, heading 090 to avoid Prescott and to climb to 13,500. So findings, the first finding was that there was a mechanical default in the construction of the vapor lines and or fuel lines. And over a period of time, the left wing was slowly degrading, as in the default didn't occur right away, it was just over a period of time. So before takeoff, the plane was cleared for takeoff, obviously for the two on left. When the plane was climbing to 13,500, the pilot reported that he had lost part of his wing. And the pilot reports that the left engine and approximately 8 feet was torn off. So unknown eyewitnesses report seeing a fireball, which was referring to the plane on fire. And on the way down, the plane lost the left aileron, landing far from the main crash site. And this is to the turbulent forces of the descending aircraft. And due to the uncontrollable speeds, the plane was ripped apart with the tail completely separated from the fuselage. Two other findings is that the runway 29 was not available for an emergency landing due to construction, and the Cessna 401A resulted in a messy crash. Cause of the crash.
Okay. Cause of the crash. The main cause of the crash was primarily because there was a medical default during the construction of the vapor lines and or fuel lines. This was apparent in the left wing, but there could have been malfunctions throughout the lining systems.
And that's a diagram of the engine and the lines.
Okay, so the route of the flight, the Cessna 401A was a cargo flight, and it was headed to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it crashed in its departure. Clearance was at 8:39, and takeoff was at 8:40, and at 8:42, the pilot reports part of the wing had fallen off. 8:43, he reports that the left engine was on fire, and from there on, and at 8:45, he crashed, saying that the flight couldn't land. Injuries to personnel, there was one injury. It was the pilot. His name was Joseph Morton. He was a 65-year-old white male. He had 100% body burns, many fractured bones, avulsions of the heart, left lung, testes, and bladder, and many lacerations. His death was purely an accident. The damage to the aircraft was, it was believed that the left engine caught on fire, but when inspected by FAA, the left engine ran perfectly in all power ranges. Whenever we found it, the aircraft was in multiple pieces and scattered all around the site. And the left wing caught on fire during flight. The aileron on the left wing fell off as altitude lowered. Yeah.
Alright, so this is a diagram I drew. The aileron is up there in the top left. And the cockpit is way over here. Engine 1 and engine 2 is over here. And this is the rear of the plane. And the wing that fell off. And here's some closer images.
meteorological information. The sky clouds, there are scattered clouds. Visibility was about 40 statute miles. The temperature was about 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Time of the dew point was about 27 degrees Fahrenheit. The altimeter read 30.12. The observation of the weather was taken at 1:47 Pacific Daylight Time, whereas the crash was at 08:45. This is the only weather that was provided.
So the aerodrome information, altitude was 54.
Okay, the aerodrome information. The name of the airport from which the plane left was Ernest A. Love Field, KPRC. The engine type was a Continental TSIO 520. The altitude of the airfield is 5,044.9 feet. The airport type is a public airport. There has 3 runways on the field, and the last inspection was March 23rd, 2015.
So the medical and pathological information, Joseph Morden was the only casualty in the crash. As said before, he had multiple lacerations, avulsions, and fractured bones with 100% body burns. His blood level was tested and he was not under the influence. His last inspection was October 22nd, 2014. He flew this airplane for 117 hours and he flew in total for 2,646 hours. So the fire was on the underside of the left wing due to electrical issues with vapor and fuel lines. The fire could have been caused by the aileron, but might not have been. The aileron fell off during the flight, which could have ripped the vapor and fuel lines, causing fuel to leak out, and then causing the fuel to leak out into the engine, which could have caught it on fire, along with the left wing.
So reports of similar crashes, there's not crashes that are exactly the same, but there is a crash of the same plane. The Cessna 401 crashed in Kentucky. The damage was beyond repair, just like this crash. Only 3 more fatalities, and the aircraft caught on fire after the crash. So, pictures of the crash. The first picture is a picture of the fuselage. The very front, as you see, here is the front of the plane, or is what is left of the front of the plane. The next picture is a side view of the first picture. So, first picture is what we tried to get the whole entire crash site. It was really scattered out, so it's hard to. And the right picture is just pictures of stuff.
This is a picture of the aileron that was found.
Yeah.
That was found beyond the main site, and this was not believed to be part of the crash, like the main reason why it crashed. But this was indeed necessary to determine.
So that's an engine. I believe that was the right engine, and that is the power of the right. So the first picture here is a zoomed in picture of the front of the airplane. As you see right there, those are the throttle. Yeah. And as you can tell, they're at full power, and we believe that's an effort to land. And the next picture is a picture as for the front of the airplane. So we believe that this picture, we believe that this is where the aileron tore off, and we matched up the aileron that was far from the crash site to this piece, and it wasn't a perfect match, but we believe that was due to other damage after the aileron fell. This next picture is the picture of the fuel and vapor lines for the engine. So you have your lines right here and then that engine spot. That's it.
All righty, give a round of applause, please. Okay, questions around the room, please. Turn the lights on.
Okay, what are your recommendations for this tonight?
Our recommendations is we have two specific. Our first is that the plane should be fully inspected right after replacement. Going through all the tests and everything just to make sure everything's running smoothly. And our second recommendation is to, before flight, check again through that word, the wings.
Do you have the mishap investigation report?
Yes.
Why don't y'all bring that up, please? Do you need me to sign into it, or you got? You need me to sign into it? Okay, let me do it.
Why did one of your investigators not talk that much? I only saw him read one slide, and the other one he tried to read it and couldn't read it well.
I wasn't originally scheduled to read that one, and I was kind of thrown under the bus, so.
He was in charge of doing diagrams.
I like the diagrams. I thought those were great diagrams. How many times did you guys practice?
In class, we practice 2 times a week.
That's twice, sir.
Did everybody contribute to the presentation and the mishap investigation report?
Yes, sir.
Questions?
Yeah.
You got questions, guys? What did the maintenance person say when you interviewed them about whether or not they did a good job on the installation?
He claimed that there was no visible defaults in the wing.
Has he ever had these issues before?
No, sir.
So you're saying the mechanic has never had an issue with no other problems that could go back on him? Other than this one?
Other than, are you talking about like in his history?
In his history, the mechanic's history, has he ever made
He didn't look into the mechanics.
any previous mistakes?
No, we did
It was a
not.
mechanical issue and you did not look into the mechanics issue.
Fozzie has a question.
Fozzie?
I might have just missed it, but what was the cause of the fire?
Cause of the fire, we believe, one of the main causes is that the aileron ripped off, possibly sparking the fuel,
Why did the aileron rip off?
because it wasn't.
The left wing was recently replaced and the aileron wasn't. And when the aileron was put on the new left wing, it wasn't tested well enough to make sure that it wouldn't fall off. And whenever it fell off, it could have ripped the fuel and vapor lines.
So why wasn't it tested properly? Why wasn't it tested properly?
We don't know, sir.
Okay, so you said the left wing was replaced and not the aileron?
Yes.
Okay.
Why not?
Well, not the aileron.
Why not the aileron?
We don't know. I feel like the left wing was slowly degrading over time, but the aileron wasn't.
Go to the findings, causes, and recommendations. Where are the findings, causes, and recommendations?
Right there.
Those are, that's
Conclusions.
Up more.
no, we choose on it. Go down. Conclusions. You are.
Okay, so this is the cause, the conclude, what is a conclusion?
These are basically the findings, we just didn't.
The findings. So this is the chronological
Order.
statement of order of events that happened.
Yes, sir.
There's a mechanical default. Why?
Was the mechanic because you said he was lazy and that he did not check it properly and he couldn't find anything? You would think they would do a more thorough inspection of the plane and how, and especially a part that was replaced. Why was it not thoroughly inspected?
We don't know that, that is why it's one of our recommendations.
Said the left wing was slowly degrading. Why?
Because it was on fire during the flight.
No,
Over a period of time, it said.
no, that's
So
not.
why did it degrade?
Because metal doesn't stay perfect.
Because what now?
The metal doesn't stay perfect forever, so
Why? Some metal does, right? Well, the right wing did.